link thing.
Oh, what thing?
Add a link. You know what I'm talking about on the story?
Oh, do you know how to do it?
I forgot.
Go to YouTube.
YouTube.
And then, like, your channel.
Your channel.
And then, does it say we're live?
Mm-hmm.
Click the 3 dots. Copy link.
Hey, look. Hey, 3 dots, it didn't go.
What?
I'm just showing you.
Oh, you're actually on it.
Yeah. Oh, woo.
So here, share. Copy link.
I just had to press share. It's
And then, whenever you're done taking the video,
yeah.
swipe up on the screen
And
tap link and then paste it.
All right. God dang, right in the middle of it.
Sorry.
That's fine, man. Episode 102. How do you do? Check us out. Damn it. Episode 102. Man. John. Episode 102. Here we go.
Let's go.
Episode 102. Here we go. All right. Now you
swipe up. Tap link. Hit paste.
Hold on. Swipe up.
No, not like that. Just on the screen. There you go. Link. Paste the link up there. There you go.
Oh. Nice. Okay. Discord, or not Discord, but sure. Cool. Easy.
Ready?
Now I know how to do it.
Yeah.
Let's go. Oh, man. All right. Oh, no, can't get the cap on. What's up, and welcome to Around with the Boys podcast. On this show, we talk about life, sports, business, and all the cool shit in between. I'm your host, James Rackley, and along with me, as always, is my co-host,
Johnny Dunleavy.
Mr. Johnny Dunleavy. So sit back, relax, crack you a cold one, because it's my favorite part of the week.
The weekend.
Yeah. Damn, I slipped on my name a little bit, say Rackley.
That's all right. Welcome to episode 102.
Yep.
Around with the Boys podcast. Coming to you Saturday morning.
Yep.
We're live back in the studio. Follow us, like, subscribe, all the above at Around W the Boys on Instagram. We're on TikTok, whatever. And we're also live on Twitch and YouTube, as always.
Yeah, be a part of the show on there. You can like type in there and make some comments, say some funny stuff, do whatever you got to do.
You can also call in 910-726-3900. Today we're going to recap our weeks.
Yep.
I did watch the Murdaugh little docu-series on HBO. It's pretty good. Talk about that a little bit. I want to talk about the show Love is Blind.
Okay.
It's. I know you have no idea what it is. A lot of people probably do. It's ridiculous. And then we have a guest on the show today. My older brother Ryan is going to make his debut appearance. He just spent a week. He's actually driving as we speak from Port St. Lucie, Florida, back home to Charlotte. He was he treated himself for his birthday and was at the Mets fantasy baseball camp, like spring training, like legit. So that's cool. So he's gonna call in. We're gonna call him actually, and he's gonna talk about it. But
we'll give a little backdrop on what that actually means, because it's It's pretty incredible.
It's pretty incredible, yeah, when we get there. But man, how's your week, Jimmy?
Dude, my week was fine, man. Like I said on the intro, this, like, being with you guys, being with the Rounders, this is my favorite part of the week, so I'm happy to be right here. But,
Yes.
so, it was just work week. Got kind of screwed over by the storm. Holy, did you see that Nicole, JD sent us that thing where it's crossing the same path as 2004, those two hurricanes in 2004, whenever Florida made, like, the same exact path.
Really?
It was kind of wild.
I didn't see it. The only thing I saw with it was the weather, like, Hurricane Center put out, like, a track, right? And it just looked like a scrotum and a dong. It was kind of funny.
That's pretty
how
funny.
they did it. I actually can't believe they sent the tweet out. But,
dude, speaking of like all that kind of stuff, like apparently the Air Force made like a big old dick, like other flight pattern.
I saw that
over there at Russia.
Yeah, right off the coast. There was like a Russian warship, and
yeah, like, oh, that was accidental. Yeah, right, bro.
How funny that. And speaking of the military, happy Veterans Day to all you.
Yeah,
out there
happy
yesterday.
Veterans Day, man. Thank you. But my week was good. Speaking of veterans and like what they do for us, they give us the right to vote safely in this country. So
I was going to talk about that. I had that on the list. It was we did get the vote this week. I hope everybody got out there and exercised your civic duty.
All right, so here's a little snippet from my exercise time. So I'm in line, right? I'm waiting. It's like 30 minutes, you know. Got my phone. It's the middle of the workday, so I don't mind it too much, you know. But I'm right there at the front. I'm about to go, about to go down and talk to the little old ladies, get signed up, get going. And I hear like the worker guys there were like, we told her, you know, you're not allowed to do that, but we'll make an exception. And I kind of was like, whatever, somebody's doing something weird. They better bring somebody in here. So I'm looking at my phone, looking down, and I see like this big old foot go by, right?
Like Bigfoot?
By my phone. Nah, it was just like a big woman. And like I see her come by in this huge green dress, and I keep scanning up, and there's a big ass white parrot staring me right in the face.
What?
I'm talking like a foot and a half tall, like with his tongue hanging out, like looking crazy. And I'm like looking at this parrot, and he's looking at me, and I'm like, "Yo, son, don't you do something crazy?"
You're just having a stare battle.
I mean,
because
like, think about it. I'm like looking up. I'm like,
listen, the last thing I'd expect to see at the polls, at the old booths, right, is Captain Hook's parrot.
Like, to be honest with you, my mind process, I'm like, okay, this lady's probably gonna be handicapped or something. That's what's going down as I'm coming up, and then it's just this big ass parrot with this like necklace thing on. I don't even know. Anyway, there's like 20 people behind me in line, and I just hear them all like snickering, laughing, because I did not see this coming. You know what I mean? They walked it all the way in, and she got to cut right in line because she had a parrot. You believe that?
So she's smart.
Yeah, she's like, nah, this is my. And then the guys,
my
thought
emotional support parrot.
Yeah, the guys thought they were funny, like, oh, this is the dog that she brought with her. Like, yeah, right, bro. That's a bird that could fly off any second. I'm surprised it wasn't talking.
Maybe not though. I don't know if some parrots can't.
They can't fly.
Some can.
It can run around.
And if you have an exotic parrot pet like that, 9 times out of 10 the wings are probably.
I hear you, dude.
But either way, ridiculous.
Look, I'm not a parrot
expert.
Ridiculous. I'm not a parrot expert. I just know it's like ugly ass tongue was all curled up and like he was staring at me with his eyes, and I'm like, bro.
It'd be better if he talked.
Yeah, he didn't say a word.
Come on, dude.
Like, it was.
What fun is that?
I mean, it was. I don't know, but it was a white parrot.
Like, just come on. Yeah, I would have been listening. Just let me hear it one time. Let me hear it.
Yeah.
Polly wants a cracker.
So, I wasn't saying anything. I didn't want any more attention than it was already, because the whole place was staring at the parrot and me, and like that was embarrassing. So then this morning, I'm coming here. I'm getting my coffee and sleeve of donuts at the gas station. A grown ass man's in there dressed like damn Alice in Wonderland. I don't.
What is wrong? What is going on with you?
I'm talking a wig with a black like bow thing in his head, like with a blue dress on. Look, I don't know. Okay, I don't know.
Twice in 1 week, you've just seen just the most ridiculous things.
Tuesday and then this morning, and I don't know, like, if there's some event going on. You know, some charity thing. I don't know.
Yeah, or like a what are those called? Like a role play con or whatever it is.
Ugh, I hope it's not.
Well,
like
no, not like that. You know what I mean? Like man, I was in Atlanta for a Virginia Tech bowl game one time, and Comic Con. That's what it was. Comic Con was going on at the same time, and everyone walking around the city was dressed as like comic people. It was crazy.
Dude, those are expensive to get to, man.
I wouldn't know.
Listen. Dude.
I was too busy going to the football game.
But I'm just saying, like, the comic world, man, is a serious thing.
Did you ever have comics as a kid?
Nah.
I didn't know.
We had TV.
Yeah, same. I was like, I'll just watch Power Rangers, dog. I'm surely not going to read it.
I'm just kidding. All you comic people.
That's funny.
Oh, God, no.
They're worth a lot of money. I mean,
yeah.
I actually saw a video of this like Saudi prince over there has the first edition, first ever Superman. It's a $4.5 million comic, and it's in his safe.
Yeah.
Bank vault in his house. That's what it is. In like a glass case. It was pretty cool.
With like armed guards.
Yeah.
Me and Taylor were talking about that. Like, they have the Forbes list, like all the rich people.
Yeah.
Think about how many people that aren't on that list that are rich as shit, like these Saudi people.
Because they just don't want to report it.
Yeah, and like those Saudi princes, dude. There's like 1,000 of them. Did you know that?
Well, yeah, and like maybe a lot of people don't want the spotlight on them like that.
Well, for sure. I'm just saying, like, dude, we're getting shown like, oh yeah, these are the rich people, but like the real string pullers, they ain't on the list.
Yeah,
that ain't happening.
Dude, I have the most government story for you at my voting experience this week.
Yeah.
So I've been living up here north side 4 years now.
Mm-hmm.
When I moved, I did what everyone does: changed my address on my ID. They send you a voter registration card for your new address. Okay, bang, done, boom. Ogden Elementary is where you vote. Great, right across the street from my crib, no big deal. So I go to Ogden Elementary, wait in line, probably about 30, 40 people in front of me. Quick move in line. It was a beautiful day too, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I get in there. She runs my name and address. Oh, they changed you to a different precinct.
Huh.
I said, what you mean they changed me to a different precinct? She's like, yeah, you're voting at so-and-so Baptist Church on Alexander, right up Market Street, which is like further away than where this one is. I'm like, what do you mean? This is the one they told me when I got the voter registration when I moved. Like, this is it.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. Well, let me get the head of elections here for this precinct. So she comes over. Everyone was super nice.
Yeah, yeah.
And so she's talking to me, and she's like, well, you'd have to vote over there, but hold on. And so she calls the place, the Board of Elections place, like, oh, no, you can provisionally vote. I'm like, oh, okay. And she goes, you can drive up there and vote, and your vote will be counted today. Or you can provisionally vote here, and it'll be counted in like 2 or 3 days. But I recommend you go there. And I was like, well, hold on.
What?
If my vote's going to be counted regardless, I don't want to drive up there.
Yeah.
Like, plain and simple. Like, you're sure? She goes, well, yeah, it'll be counted in a couple of days, though. And I was like,
see, I don't like that.
I was like, just give me the piece of paper. I mean, I'm here. I just waited in line for 30 minutes. Just let me do it. You're telling me my vote's going to get counted. That's all I need to hear. Now, if it does or doesn't, that's on you. But it's just the most government thing in the world.
Not classic.
Like, you're just telling me, oh, you have to go up there. But you can actually do it here. It'll count. But I prefer if you go up there. Like, what? No, why? Why are you making my life more, like,
dude,
harder?
First off, why? Oh, my God.
And she said, you're the third person from where you live across, and like literally it's right across Market Street. It's the way the crow flies, not a half a mile from my house. And she's like, yeah, you're the third person from that side. Are you like behind Ice House in Ogden Park? I was like, yeah, that's exactly where I'm at. Yeah, they changed the precincts. I was like, oh, great, thanks. Well, it's just you know what I mean. It's like typical government, but either way, fun, nice process all around.
Cool.
So yeah, glad everyone got to express or exercise civic duties.
There you go, man.
And people who take that serious. Can we talk about that for a second? There are some very serious people at these places.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, how many pins can you fit on a shirt?
Oh, dude.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's almost like acupuncture with all them pins.
Mm-hmm.
But
no, the people I can't stand, though, since we're on this, I literally went in there, I filled out my stuff, and I left before people that were like 20 people ahead of me in line. They're still in there filling it out like it's a test.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you mean? Like,
hello, we've had like, I don't know, a year, not more, maybe longer to like figure this out.
The 1,000 signs that hit you in the face when you walked in here, they've been out on the roads for 2 months now.
And it was like very cool. Like the workers outside. Oh, would you like to see a practice ballot, practice Democratic ballot, practice a Republican? And like it didn't matter. Yeah. And it said, it doesn't matter which side you're voting. I'm just glad to see everybody out here voting. And like that's how it should be. Mm-hmm. Nice, no issues. And that's what it was. So that was cool. Good experience.
Except for the parrot.
That's on you.
That's on her.
That's on her. All right. So I watched the Low Country, the Murder 3 episode. Each episode's about an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And I just have to say one thing, and it's we murdered it on the episode that we did.
No pun intended.
No. Oh, wow. I didn't even. Yeah, good one. Yeah, we nailed it on the head, and it was cool watching it because I'm like, oh, they're about to talk about this now. Like I knew the timeline already, but they had video and audio that like we didn't have our hands on.
You really got to see how they acted.
They had every inch of security footage from them, pulling up to that Luther's bar on the water down there in Edisto and like everything. So that was like kind of crazy.
Dude,
and
Luther's a strong name.
They had police dash cam footage from like when it happened.
Oh, really?
It was all, and like you just see how much of a fucking prick the youngest kid was.
Man,
it really makes you like, wow, this kid is just a spoiled brat, and like it's now it's unfortunate that he was murdered by his own father, but
do you think he did it, man?
He got charged, and that's the thing. They finished this docuseries, and then like a month and a half ago, he got charged. Yeah, that is not in this docuseries because it was already done.
I'm still not convinced he didn't have somebody with him. Because
I think he was responsible.
There was 2 weapons used.
Listen, I think he was responsible for it.
Yeah.
Not sure if he did it himself. But you never know, man. The guy said he had a 20-year opiate addiction.
No. I know. I'm saying what I'm trying to say is, and what I've been saying the whole time, I could see him killing one of them, but like he had somebody with him that shot the other one or something like that. Otherwise, this man was rolling around with 2 different types of guns on him. You know what I mean? And shot one with one gun and one with the other.
This is my mother. I'm going to tell her. I'll call her back.
Okay.
Hey, Ma. Mom. Hey, I'm recording the podcast. Can I call you back? Okay. Are you good? Okay. Yeah, I'll call you like an hour. Bye. Love you. Bye. Sorry. When Mom calls, you answer.
You answer, man.
At any rate, so they did a very good job. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome. So if you haven't watched it yet, go check that out. But the show I wanted to talk about today is a little show called Love is Blind. Okay? I'm sure a lot of females have watched this. This is a show that takes place over the course of 1 month. About 1 month, maybe 6 weeks. But what they do is they put 5 guys and 5 girls in this they call them pods, right? But at any rate, there's walls dividing you, and one by one, each guy and each girl spend like an hour and a half date, but they can't see the other person. Okay?
Were you talking through a wall?
You're talking, yeah, I mean microphones and all that, but like these people will literally spend like 2-3 hours like sitting on the ground by themselves just talking through the wall with this other person, and they rotate to find which person they like. Now this takes place over the course of like a week. Okay? Listen, I'm going to just keep going. At the end of this 1 week, a mere 7 days, they choose the person that they propose to. Hey, this is for real.
Like legit?
Legit. I'm talking.
Like paperwork?
Oh, yeah. So at the end of this week, each person, and like one guy chose this one girl. And so basically there's 6 dudes and 5 girls. So one of the guys isn't going to make it.
That's fucked up.
It's kind of, yeah, I know. But
sorry
listen,
for the F-bomb. I'm kind of offended now.
Yeah, I know. It's wild, right?
So what if you're the one loser nobody wants to chill with?
Sucks to suck.
God, dude.
Okay, so check it out. Yeah, so one of the guys, right? So, and they still have not seen this person. They propose through the wall, all right? The guy, the first guy I saw, he gets rejected, right? So he's the odd man out. See ya. And then everybody else says yes. So now you have 5 couples, all right? They say yes. The next night, they get ready, get themselves all dolled up. They go to these two doors. There's like a runway in the middle, and the doors open at the same time, and that's the first time they ever see each other as you put the ring on the finger.
Oh, my God.
Okay? So check it out. It gets way better. So some of these people have, it's all about having an emotional connection, right? And then when you see the physical features and then spend time with the person, literally, doesn't work. So then they see each other that night. Everyone, freaks out, right. And mind you, the guy only sees that girl, so he doesn't see the other 4 women that he talk to for hours, right? So they do their thing the first night. Second night, or so after all the couples propose, they then send them all to like Malibu to this massive mansion, right?
Like everybody's still, they're all going together?
So this is week 2, yes.
Uh-huh.
So week 2, they send all the couples down there to like party together. And when they get to this mansion, that's when all the dudes meet the other girls.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
And
right?
they're like, wait a second.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. So then you start
man.
backpedaling, right?
Yeah.
And, dude, I tell you what, it is by far the worst show I've ever seen, but I can't stop watching it.
Bro,
It's terrible. Dude, so they do a week at this thing, right? Issues arise. They start arguing. From there, they go home, and they live together for like 2 or 3 weeks.
And cameras are just set up everywhere.
Yup. And they have to, like, get through that, and then they have wedding day. I mean, legit wedding day. Now, mind you, this is all for real, right? Like, I couldn't, out of the 5 couples, there was at least one set of parents that wasn't going to go to the wedding. Like, we're not going to this wedding. We don't support it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
Like, I mean, think about it. Their parents are all boomers. I mean, these are all people that are like one guy's 25, and he proposed to a divorced woman. She's like 38. 37, 38. And then, you know, like,
dude, all right.
like one dude is like a very good looking dude. He's like a Southern, like kind of just go with the flow, have fun. He had like a little Nerf gun. He was shit. And the girl is just like, oh my God, like you're doing this wrong. Like you left your towel on the ground, you know, after your shower.
No.
And like, and you could tell he's like, I hate this.
Now, is she for real? Or you think these people are like, they amp it
Brothers,
up?
dead ass. This is like season 2, I believe. I'm dead ass when I'm telling you. This
Do they get paid for this?
I'm sure you'd have.
I mean,
but it's just crazy. And so now last night, right, is the finale, the wedding episode. It's 2 hours long.
God.
And so instead of switching like every 5 minutes from couple to couple, it's one couple's wedding, and then it goes to the, you know, so it's like 20 minutes. And I was exhausted last night, but I got through the first one, right? Homeboy left her at the altar. He's I can't do this.
That's what's up.
Right?
Like he was Southern dude?
Because he no. This guy's
oh.
name was SK. He was from Nigeria. I mean, he's a brilliant guy. Yeah. And I'm like, what is this guy doing on the show? You know, he's not like one of those dudes that's like, oh, I'm just looking for love. You know, like this dude was smart as hell, and he was going to law school in California, and she was like, well, I'm not leaving Dallas. So they were gonna the first 2 years of the marriage do it long distance. A guffaw. That's never gonna work, dude. After knowing each other for 1 month.
Bro, I just honestly I can't even like fathom. Like well, you're telling the story. I'm like, if somebody came to me right now, because I'm in the acting world. Yeah. Like, hey, dude, you want to do this?
Yeah.
Could I do it? I don't think so.
There's no way. I mean, you'd have to pay me a serious sum, and I would get all the way to the end and be like, nah, I can't do this, and then take my money and run.
I mean. I probably could do it, but I'd keep it real.
Dude, there's one guy that picked this girl, and the girl is she might be full Jewish or half Jewish, but he was like, well, I want to like know the culture, and I want both cultures to be part of the wedding, and you know whatever. So they're sitting down with like the rabbi, right? This is the day before, 2 days before the wedding, and he's like, okay, well, we do this, and then you sign this document, which is basically like a prenup, which says that if you guys ever divorce, that you will support her. With a shelter and food, and his face, right, man gets white as a ghost.
Hell yeah.
He's like, of course I want to support her forever, but we'll never get divorced. I'm like, brother,
look, dog,
this is where you say, I've had enough. You unclip the mic, put it on the table.
Dude, and that's the truth. That this man wanted to learn the culture and got smacked in the face with it. Said,
I mean,
oh, do you want to be involved?
We're talking blindside.
Do you want to be involved with us? Okay,
dude,
nah, bro. Honestly,
it's captivating. I can't get enough of it.
I couldn't do it, and here's why. Like, when I speak to some, like, dude, if you're gonna fall, like, I just don't want everybody hearing my little gushy feelings to like a girl. If I'm for real talking to her, like,
and some of the things they say when these guys are talking,
I couldn't do it.
It's so. I was getting anxiety at how cringe.
That's what I'm saying. I'm sweating right now thinking about it because I know, like, you know, I'm talking about pillow talk. You don't want everybody to hear that.
No.
Yeah, and this is gonna be there forever.
Forever, ever.
Like, nah, dude. That
Crazy.
better be a big paycheck.
I'll tell you.
Can you have me one more beer now?
I sure can, yeah.
Because this is freaking me out. All right, dude. Let's get on to sports.
It's so bad, dude. Yeah.
honestly, let us know out there if you would do that game. I'm sure some of you crazy SOBs, girl or guy, would do it. So let us know because I'm interested. I couldn't do it. You couldn't do it. I'm trying. Mikey could do it. I could see Mikey doing that shit easily. Out of our friends, the guy who made the song, "Give Me That," I could see him doing it.
He is a savage.
Yeah, he'd keep it.
He is a straight up savage. All right, hey, our guest is going to join us here shortly. I'm about to call him right now. It's my brother Ryan. A little preface here. We're giant Mets fans. You guys know this. I did the New York City trip recently with him. His dream since he was a kid was to play for the New York Mets. It didn't happen, obviously. Well, that's going to be a little shook up. But at any rate, he treated himself for his birthday, that's in January, and bought himself this Mets fantasy camp experience. So he went down there Sunday and checked in, and basically you get your own locker. I mean, you are at the Mets spring training facility. Old players come and coach you. I mean, Howard Johnson, Hojo, was a third baseman for the Mets back in the 80s and 90s that Ryan loved, and he was there. Doc Gooden was there. All these just, classic Mets players coaching, dudes. And Ryan, he's about to be 40, and he said there was another kid down there that was like 36 who played college ball, was a pitcher, was just throwing heat. But majority of the people were just, old and probably hadn't played baseball in 20 years, but just wanted to experience it. So it was pretty cool. He is driving right now home from Florida to Charlotte. So I'm going to give him a shout, and he's going to tell us about it. Is it bad? I don't know his number.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a 910 number, so it's a little tough. All right.
At least you'll clearly know where to edit it in the software.
Hello, this call is being recorded. If you do not wish to be recorded, please hang up now.
Don't hang up.
Yeah, thanks for the tip.
Ryan, welcome to the show. I appreciate you doing this. I just kind of told everybody what you did a little bit, kind of gave a little intro about what you did, but yeah, man, I mean, thanks for joining. Kind of break us down how this all came about.
Yeah, happy to be here. I love that when the phone rings, it says "Around with the Boys" on my cell phone. That's excellent.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I did not know that.
Yeah, no, appreciate you guys having me. It was a hell of a week. I know I've been blowing up your phone and James's phone, kind of all week, keeping you guys in the loop of how it's going. But awesome experience. Essentially, it was a 40th birthday gift to myself. Mm-hmm. I decided to do it probably about 2 years ago. I think if I've known about it for a long time. I just kind of finally took it serious. About 2 years ago, I decided I was going to do it, but I wasn't going to do it until my 40th. So they used to do this in January, and with COVID, they kind of pushed it around. So now they do it after the season as opposed to before the season. So they moved it to November. I guess it went well, and that was it. But it was going to be literally the week of my birthday in January. But just an awesome experience. Yeah, so I put it on the map about 2 years ago. Told you and James to save up and do it. I don't think either of you saved a penny for it. So that was good. And yeah, man, it was an awesome experience. Awesome experience.
So you got down there Sunday, is that right?
Yeah. So went down halfway, crashed with my buddy Paddock in Jacksonville, and then drove the rest of the way Sunday morning. So you do about a 3-hour workout Sunday afternoon in front of all the coaches, and as you may have told people, the coaches were all former Mets coaches or players, going all the way back to like the '69 Mets.
Hell yeah!
So
cool.
Yeah, I mean it was really pretty surreal. So Sunday afternoon, I'm in the batting cage taking hacks, and I look over my shoulder, and Howard Johnson is, 6 feet away from me watching my swing. And for those that don't know who Howard Johnson was, he was, I think, the original 30-30 guy, 30 steals, 30 homers. He played third and short in the 80s. And just, he was my favorite player, non-pitcher. My favorite pitcher was Doc Gooden. He was my favorite fielder. And just totally surreal looking back and being like, holy cow, Hojo's watching me take BP. And I finished my round. The last ball was right over the middle. I totally missed it, popped it straight up. And I turned and looked at him, and I was like, man, it's a little bit aggravating that you're sitting here watching. Like, it's really nerve-wracking. Like, I grew up wanting to play third and short for the Mets because of you, and now you're sitting here watching my swing, and I'm pretty much really nervous about the whole thing, which was, and he laughed. And then we ended up talking for 10 minutes. End of the week, I had talked to him a whole mess of times. We talked about, he lives in Tampa. He's a big Bucs fan. We were talking NFL. And then he ended up giving me his cell phone number and wants, videos of Sully. And he's like, yeah, send videos, man. I'll break them down. I'll see if I can help. So now I text with Hojo. Like, crazy.
That's awesome, bro.
I didn't know that part. That is very cool.
So small tangent, by the way. Sully and Sean are playing flag football this year for the first time. And frankly, their team's not very good. And they're figuring it out. But Sully just had a pick six. Just picked it off, ran it back for a touchdown about 10 minutes ago.
Excellent.
Hey, yes. They know about Sully. I've told the pod about Sully and Sean.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, man, you do a workout Sunday, and then the coaches split it all up and put us onto 12 different teams. And then the way it's supposed to work is you play 2 games a day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then on Thursday, everyone still plays games, but the top 4 teams play a semifinals and a finals. And, of course, there ended up being a hurricane, so that really threw the schedule off. But so we ended up playing 3 games Monday, 3 games Tuesday, which was really pretty physically humbling after not playing that much baseball for that long.
Hey, so Ryan, did they
yeah.
Were they like evaluating you guys and then split you up accordingly?
Yep.
Were you wearing like numbers and
Yep.
stuff like that?
Yeah. So when you get there, so they do it all in the minor league clubhouse, which, as you can imagine, holds a ton of people, right? Because all the minor league guys are in spring training are all in that clubhouse. So
Yeah.
there's about 135 guys, I think. And when you get to your locker, you have a full away uniform, full home uniform, a workout shirt, workout shorts, an undershirt. They just outfit you with kind of everything.
Damn.
Hey, let me ask you a question real quick. How did it feel
Yeah.
walking up to that locker? I mean, you were number 5 your entire career, and like David Wright was like obviously Ryan is the reason I'm a Mets fan, but like when I started really watching the Mets, right? Like David Wright was our captain, he was our guy, number 5, and then but you walking up to that locker, seeing Dunleavy number 5 in a Mets uniform, like how was that feeling?
Yeah, I mean, amazing and also kind of hilarious, right? Like this whole thing, as much as I loved it, it's also like, yeah, this is really kind of dumb. Like this is really dumb. Like this is a bunch of serious tryhards paying a ton of money to like put the jersey on and pretend that you played for the Mets for a week. Like,
Dude,
but
like you can't think about it. You're just being a kid again. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Like I would do that for soccer in a heartbeat.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the cool parts is, and the best way to sort of explain it to people that don't really get it, it's a golf trip. It's a golf trip for dudes that love baseball and happen to love the Mets, right?
Yeah.
So in between games, we're all just sitting around shooting the shit. I'm meeting, people from all over the place, mostly New York and New Jersey, but there were 2 dudes from Ireland there. There was a guy from Idaho, a guy from Alaska is coming to this next week, like the week 2 camp.
Damn.
So you're meeting great dudes from all over the place. Some of them were, like me, like really competitive high school. There was one guy that happens to live just north of Charlotte who was an absolute stud. I think the guy struck out 30 guys in the 4 games he pitched. And then I think he batted like 15 of 18 or something. I mean, it's crazy.
Oh my God.
So I was busy recruiting him to my men's league the whole time.
For sure. sure.
Hopefully that works out. But like, I mean, on the flip side of it, we had some dudes that were just absolutely terrible. I mean, horribly bad at baseball. But they're Mets fans, and like, and they totally embraced the fact that they were just there to meet some guys and have fun, and that was kind of the nice part too. Like, was it competitive? Yes. Like, am I totally pissed that we lost in the finals yesterday? Totally. But also, like, just a great time, and we had a guy on our team that was so incredibly unathletic. I mean, just awful. His name was Al. First ball he hit, he took 2 steps out of the batter's box, absolutely tripped, face planted right in the middle of the first baseline. I mean, did not get his hands up, and his face smack into the dirt, right? And then did it again that afternoon out in right field. Took 4 steps for a ball, tripped, face plant. I mean, just a total goofball. He went out to the field one time with his helmet on. But the best story of this guy is he felt all the bats were really heavy because he's like a string bean. So he found a bat that he saw. He was like, oh, this bat's it. This is light. This is great.
Oh, man.
Went up to bat with a fungo. And so if any of you baseball guys know what a fungo is, that's the bat coaches use to hit infield outfield. It's much longer, skinny, lighter, but you definitely don't bat with it. And he rolled right up to the plate with a fungo. So of course Al's name turned into Fungo the rest of the week. That's all we called him.
It had to be, because I mean, like, Al didn't play Little League. I don't think.
Certainly not the big Al that we know who hit stingers from the Little League World Series a couple years ago.
Yeah, different. That was not him. This guy had rec specs and like just a total dweebo. But
all right, so what positions did you play?
So I played short the whole time.
Okay.
I came in to pitch an inning, but I closed out one inning, started the next. When I threw strikes, they couldn't touch it, but I threw very few strikes. So,
hey, tell them about the story of the guy.
One of the guys, there's a lot of guys here that come back year after year after year. And the catcher for this particular team, I guess, is one of those guys. And so he got up to the plate. I couldn't find the strike zone to save my life. But I was still trying to throw hard and throw strikes, and I absolutely crushed him in the forearm. I mean, just crushed him. And he turned and he stared me down, and he looked at his bench, said something else, stared at me again, walked over to the dugout, like flipped his bat in there because he's the catcher. He had someone else running for him, so like that was essentially his at bat. He walked up, got hit, went back, and I get it. Like, he's mad. Like, we only get so many at bats at this thing, and he was pissed that he got hit and like lost his at bat. But also, just get out of the way, bro. Right? That's an idea. And also, like, don't stare me down. Like, that's not a good choice. So I gave him a couple words, and I was like, all right, just go sit down, whatever. I walked the next like 79 dudes I saw. The coach finally came out and pulled me. And thank God, my shoulder was dying at this point. And so we move on. We go to dinner with our team, and we're laughing about that story. And the one guy who's also been there a while, he's like, that guy, like, he's just like, he rubs everybody the wrong way. No one's really a big fan. And I was like, all right, well, if that's the case, I'm gonna go buy him a present the next morning. So set my alarm for a little bit earlier, went and got a cup of coffee over at Dunkin', and then swung through CVS and bought him a little Vagisil, and wrote a little note and said, hey, sorry about your arm yesterday. Seemed like something was really bothering you, so hope this helps.
Damn,
and I left it in his locker before everyone got there. And luckily he took it with a laugh. He came over to my locker. He's like, all right, man, that's funny. That's a good time. Yeah. But I had everybody, like, later on that day, I went into the clubhouse room, like where all the clubbies are that do all the laundry and everything else. Yeah. And they had it tacked up on their board. And I was like, I pointed at it. They're like, yeah, somebody did that, and they left it in Ellis's locker today. I was like, yeah, man, that was me. And they're like, oh, hell yeah. And they pulled out a bottle of tequila, and we poured shots.
I mean, yeah. I mean, obviously, that's what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Dude, hell
so
yeah,
just
man.
like it's that old school baseball crap, man. Like where just everyone's kind of ripping on each other and having a good time with it. But I mean, that was the best part. I mean, baseball's amazing, and like getting to meet those Mets guys was great. But you know, after the week, I mean, I'm on a text thread with all the dudes that I played with on the team, and
That's awesome, man.
you know, like at the end of camp yesterday, they put out a sheet of like, all right, if you want to come back. So clearly I did. Don't tell Kim yet. I'll battle that when I get home.
There you go.
but yeah, man, it was awesome. It's like that was the beauty of it. Though. Meet some new friends. You know, it also was great that it was the Florida Sunshine. I got to play a bunch of baseball. Awesome.
And you met Doc Gooden.
That's right. Yep. Met Doc. I sent you the picture of this awesome old school like 80s poster that I bought on eBay for $6 or something last month. Still in the wrapping to the point where the rubber band that was around it like melted into the poster.
That's awesome.
And it's this great like cartoony picture of Doc.
Yeah, it's like
caricature
or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And he put a big signature on, so I'm going to frame that guy up. And all the guys were so cool with that. So I took Sully and Sean to their first Mets game this summer, and at the store there, they sell packs of 50 baseball cards, and they're all Mets players, all different brands, and they just literally rubber band them and they sell them. And so each of the boys bought a pack of those when we were there. And so before the camp, I gave them a list of the coaches, and they laid all the cards out all over their bedrooms, and they went through all of them to see which guys would be there. So I had a stack of cards for a couple of the guys, and so I got Hojo's autograph, and Doc signed like 6 cards for me. Mookie Wilson, you know, put the dribbler through Buckner's legs. I got his autograph.
Yep.
That's awesome.
So yeah, man, it was pretty surreal. But like the funny part is like by the end of it, you know, like obviously I told you guys the Hojo story, but like the one night I stayed up late talking with Nelson Figueroa, who you know didn't pitch for us for a long time, but is actually the pre and post game guy for the Mets TV network.
Yeah.
So I noticed him more obviously from that, but he and I sat up late for an hour and a half. Like I have his cell phone number. It looks like he's going to be the manager for an independent league team that plays what are they called, the Ferry Hawks, but they play against like the Gastonia team in Carolina. So he's like, hey man, when I come down, like bring the kids, like we'll all catch up. Like gave me a cell phone number. Like I'm going to catch up with him when he comes down to Gastonia. You know, like
that's awesome.
Yeah, like Dylan G, he was a pitcher for the Mets a couple years ago. This was his first time coaching at this camp. And he's my age. He's got kids already. Like we're talking about kids, and a good friend of mine from my last job lives in the same little town in Texas, and he's like, oh my God, it's great. So I like linked him up on Instagram, and you know, he happened to coach in the finals yesterday, and after the game, like, you know, stopped me and gave me a big hug and was like, bro, like you played some awesome ball this week. Like how freaking cool. Like it was awesome. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah. Well, good for you, bro. Hey, real quick though. I mean, John showed me a picture. You might want to make a poster out of this one picture. Like
it's the screenshot I took from the video you sent me of you standing on second, just looking ripped,
just looking tough as hell, dude. Like
yeah, I sent a bunch of those photos to the baseball trainer that I started taking Sully to, but truthfully, I went for a couple of lessons before this camp because I didn't want to go in there totally cold. And I sent some pictures to him. He's like, "You fill out that uni pretty good, bro."
Yeah.
Which you know, coulda, shoulda, woulda. You know, that would have been something else. One of those childhood dreams for sure. But,
hey, well, dude, what was your best at bat?
Yeah, home run.
Let's see. So I finished 8 for 17, 3 doubles, 2 triples, and a homer.
Damn.
The homer, full transparency, in the Parker, on the turf, on the turf field, on the turf field. So, I literally, I was looking around. I was like, all right, I'm just gonna pound this thing to the right center gap. And I have a feeling it's going to skip off this turf and roll, and that is exactly what it did. So that was awesome.
Heck yeah.
Our last regular season game to clinch our spot in the championship was tied 2-2. I came up in our last ups. and pounded a ball, like two-hopped it to the right center wall for a double, and then I ended up scoring, and we won 3-2. So that was probably the best at bat. We needed that one, and that one actually counted, and I hammered that ball.
Captain Clutch.
But yeah,
That's
I mean,
awesome,
I've never been a big hitter. John will attest to that. So it also speaks to the fact that there's a lot of old dudes that just couldn't get to a lot of balls I hit, which is fine too. But like my expertise was probably more on the fielding side, always, ever since I was a little guy, and I had a good week with the mitt for sure.
Excellent.
That was a lot of fun.
I just think it's cool how you did this for 2 years. I don't know what that was. Are you still here?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, for 2 years. You knew you were going to do this, and then you go down and dude, you showed out with the mitt, and to get recognition from all these former players that you grew up admiring it's just awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. I don't know if you guys will remember this name, Johnny, but Rafael Santana. He was a shortstop for the Mets in the 80s. You may know him because I always used to sub him in RBI baseball too to play shortstop because he was just fast as hell, right? So he would just steal every base for me.
I don't think I ever won a game against you in RBI baseball.
No, very few people beat me in RBI baseball too. But that's okay, man. It's you got the best of me with your cheat codes on N64 later on. So.
Get out of here.
But he was coaching that game yesterday, right? And I made a great play. I'm running off the field, and he stopped me. And he was like, "Hey man, that was a hell of a play." And I'm like, "Okay, Rafi Santana." It's crazy.
That's awesome, dude.
That's awesome.
Yeah, really good time. But yeah, man, Johnny, like you said, 2 years ago, I kind of put my head to it, and really, I think you could probably even go back a couple years before that. COVID, the silver lining for me during COVID is, travel halted for work. Things were crazy, obviously, with everyone on Zooms and whatnot, but I was able to get on a schedule. I was able to get my diet right, and I lost a ton of weight during COVID.
Yeah, for people that don't know, he dropped a ton of weight and got I'd say you're probably in one of the best shapes of your life right now.
No question. I mean, an absolute buttload of hard work, right? I mean, it's not like it just fell off. It's been a multi-year, project to get it off and then keep it off. But yeah, I lost 75 pounds, and then I probably put 15 back on. But I never could have done this. Physically, I would have just been toast. I could have done it. There's plenty of dudes that were there that were out of shape and whatever. But it would have been disappointing for me to not be able to go and perform. So, I mean, it really probably even goes back before that. I wouldn't have even committed to this had I not gotten into shape to do it, first. And, the other part of it is funny, because Alexa and our Instagrams and everything are listening to everything that we do and say and hear, an ad for the Charlotte men's league that I played in the summer literally came up in my Instagram, because I had signed up for this, I think. Yeah. And so I wouldn't have even known about that. So I got to play in the summer league this summer for the first time since high school, and that was awesome. It's really great, man. It's baseball was definitely a big love of mine as a kid, and it feels really good to kind of have that love back in my life for sure.
Well, dude, that is badass, man. I appreciate you taking the time during your extended drive to talk about it, and for anyone out there who wants to do it, I mean, you could do it. So. And he did it and excelled. And
yeah, it's really fun. And
the updates and photos all week were just so cool. I was telling everyone in the office to the point where I walked in Wednesday morning, and it's like, all right, how'd he do yesterday? I'm like, what were the stats? So it was awesome.
Well, I appreciate you and James. Like I said on text yesterday, I know I was probably just overloading your guys' text, but fun to experience it with you guys through that for sure. And they had a videographer there. And so in a couple months from now, there'll be some video. I'll send it over to you, Johnny. Obviously, but I was talking to that guy, and he's been doing fantasy camp videos for 30 years.
Damn.
Holy shit. I didn't know what's been going on.
And and apparently a lot of the clubs do it. So like if you're listening to this and you're going, well, that's cool, but I hate the Mets. Good news. Me and John hate the Mets too, right? I mean, every August and September they stab us in the face. So
we love them until All-Star break.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Syndergaard had a good quote a couple years ago where baseball has this amazing way to just absolutely tear your heart out of your chest and then somehow put it back in there, sew it up, and it heals just in time for first pitch in April, right? So, it's but the point of all that is, like, if you don't love the Mets but you think this is a really cool idea, look into your squad. Like, they may very well do something like this.
I'm sure the Braves.
I know the Reds do it. Like, yeah, I mean, he mentioned he's filmed for a whole mess of different teams. So like, there's definitely other ones out there. Cool. This isn't the only one. If you wanted to do it.
Cool. I just think it's awesome you did it, man. You got in shape for it. I mean, it's still nostalgic feeling the whole time. You got to meet awesome people, and now your kids potentially are going to get exposed to legends because you went out there and did it. You know what I mean? So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, the boys thought it was really cool. They were supposed to come down with the hurricane. We ended up bailing on that plan. Yeah. But, sent them a lot of the photos and all that kind of stuff too. And they were really into it, but also, they asked if I won any awards. I was like, yeah, sadly I finished second for the Gold Glove. And they were like, well, that sucks, man. Like, maybe you should have done better. Like, that was the answer, right? So touche. Yeah. I mean, I guess I'm trying to set the standard for him.
There you go.
If you're not first, you're last, right? I guess he's not wrong.
Exactly.
But yeah, man, it's a great time. I appreciate you guys having me on to chat about it.
Well, that's awesome.
I only have another 5.5 hours, so you want to call me back, talk more. Right?
Yeah,
Well, dude, right? I appreciate it, brother. Safe travels, man. Love you. I'll talk to you later on today.
Yeah, man. Love you too. You guys be good.
All right, man. Good talking to you.
Peace.
I mean, how awesome is that?
That was pretty damn cool, man. And, dude, like I said, I'll get in damn baseball shape, go out there and take some grounders and go do it for the Braves.
He even told me, and I'm certainly not in shape, he was like, dude, Johnny, you do well compared to the guys down here. He was like, there was on each, and that's why they had the workout Sunday. Yeah. So they could, like, evenly split up.
Well, that's the thing.
There was, like, 2 studs per team, basically.
Yeah.
But, it's just such a cool experience. I mean, he's sending me photos hanging, like, arm in arm with Doc Gooden, dude.
And honestly, $5,000's not that much for everything he talked about.
You get it, and you get to keep all that stuff.
That's what I mean. Like, you
so cool.
Yeah, jerseys, housing, like all this mess for
everything.
$5,000.
You get all the photos,
plus
like
the connections,
lifetime memories, connections, all of it.
Jeez.
Yeah, so it's
like I said, I do it for soccer in a heartbeat. I'll definitely do it for baseball.
So that was awesome. That was sick.
That was cool.
Appreciate it, Rye. All right, let's move on to some sports. Let's make some picks.
Let's do some picks.
Today, I'm going to tweet our picks out live. In hopes that we hit them, and then I can screenshot them and tell everybody to tune into the live shows.
Hopefully.
I'm just going to do a little recap. Premier League is going on right now as we speak. Liverpool's up 3-1. My Spurs just equalized, tied 2-2 in the 61st minute. So,
we'll see.
Anyways, college hoops has begun.
Yeah, it has, man. I've been paying attention. Been making some lineups, like dollar ones, just to like figure it out.
It's crazy to me you can still do dailies for college.
You can do dailies for college football, college basketball.
How hard is that?
Okay, so the first night, I put $5 down on college basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Came back, $5 profit.
Okay.
The next 2, smoked. Okay?
Okay, you love that.
No, but it's fine. But, like, I don't know. It's paying attention. Like, there's not as much news. So what I've been doing lately is NBA. I'm not going to lie to anybody. NBA is hard because these cats, like, 5 minutes before tip-off, somebody's like, nah, I ain't playing. And you're like, what?
Yeah, dude, it is crazy.
But they do that.
It's like scratch from the lineup, literally, as they're on the court warming up.
And there was no, like, twice this has happened already this season, and it just started. Like, the guy, there was no injury, no nothing. It's just up, out. Like, what? And so, but if you want to win some money in NBA, you have to pay attention to the mismatches. Like, that is so crucial in that. But anyway, I digress. But go ahead. What we got?
Yeah. College hoops, there's no really any big games today.
No.
I was just bringing it up that it has begun.
Yeah.
We're in full swing. Obviously, as a lot of people know, the first few games for a lot of these schools, unless you're in like a big tournament or a big event, like the Battleship game that they're doing, whatever. So, but we're in full swing. I love it. As you know, March Madness is one of our favorite events.
Oh, that's great.
Of the year. College football today. Let's see here. Starting in 38 minutes, Virginia Tech is playing in Durham at Duke. Duke is -10, Virginia Tech +10. Look, Virginia Tech has lost 4 games this season by 3 or fewer points, including 2 games in a row against NC State and Georgia Tech, losing by 1 in the final 4 minutes of the game. Because we just our third quarter's popping. Listen here, if you're going to bet this game, at halftime, just take Virginia Tech third quarter. That's all I can say. Because every game we pop off
Virginia
third quarter.
Tech third quarter, I hear you.
So VT, third quarter money line will be the pick.
I'll take the points on it. VT. They'll
VT
cover.
+10?
Yep, they'll cover.
All right, I'm tweeting this out.
Shit.
And VT.
Don't let me down, VT.
Third Q money line. Tweet. All right, moving on. 3:30 game. Got a big game here. We have number 9 Alabama at number 11 Mississippi. Alabama shaky.
Yeah.
Not as good as we thought they were.
Yep.
They are -11 at -105. Mississippi +11 -115.
At Mississippi.
It's at Mississippi. I
Taking
like
the points,
+11. Yes, that's what we're going to take. Mississippi +11. You have to, right? Like
I just, yes, you do.
All right, Boston College +18.5 in Raleigh. Number 16 NC State. -18.5.
That's insane.
That's a lot.
That is way too much, and I hate to keep just taking the points all day, but it's almost like when you're taking a test and the answer's C 3 times in a row, and you're like, wait a minute.
I know, right? I hate that.
Yeah.
And you're staring at your bubble sheet. You're like, oh, boy.
Oh, because, listen, for those of you who really know me, I was a bubble sheet expert.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, dog.
All right, so you on BC +18.5?
I certainly am.
I certainly am, too. That's just so many points for
It's way too
for
many.
an NC State team that
Plus, they gave you the half point. So I'm like, yeah,
the hook, baby.
I'll take it.
Captain Hook.
Shit.
Okay, Louisville at number 10, Clemson. Clemson's -7. Clemson is not a good football team.
Ooh.
Repeat, they are not good. That's all I'm going to say. Again, not going to take the +7 here. That's 4 seasons in a row.
Yeah, I
we
would
don't
take
do that.
I would take Clemson -7.
We don't do that.
That's what
I'm not even
taking.
going to make a pick for that.
Actually, you know what? What I'll do, I'll buy half a point.
You would buy half a point.
Yep.
Okay, and then
Clemson.
we got Pac-12 top 25 matchup out there. West Coast is what it is. Actually, this is going to be a great game. This is where game day is. We have number 4 TCU at number 18 Texas. Texas is -7. They are in Texas. Game day is there. I like Texas -7 here. I know they're ranked lower, but it's electric. It's a night game. It's 7:30 p.m. kickoff.
I'll buy a half point again. Texas.
-6.5.
Yep.
Okay. Texas, and that'll do it for college football.
Okay. Yeah, because speaking of, shout out to Joey, his daughter, Little Hadley, is playing her championship game at 12.
Yep.
Down at Veterans Park.
And
So
James has to get there, so we got to wrap this up here shortly. Okay, let's go ahead to NFL and pick 3 or 4 here. Let's see. There's a 9:30 a.m. game live from Munich. Seattle Seahawks versus the recently divorced Tom Brady and Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay is -2.5.
Okay, last week, though, you did call that Tom would win. Okay, it took him a second.
Because it's behind him now.
Yeah, it took him a second, but then he won in Tom Brady fashion at the last second. But to be clear on that game, Evans dropped 3 passes that hit him in the chest.
Yes.
What's his face? Scotty Miller got hit in the face mask by a touchdown pass.
I know it.
And then Godwin dropped 2.
I know it.
So I'm like,
and Brady still pulled out
and still did it.
an old-fashioned Tom Brady game-winning drive, which, like I said, the divorce is behind him.
It is.
He might be back.
It is. And you know what he said at the podium? That was fucking awesome.
There we go.
That's what he said.
There we go.
And when he said those words, I was like, oh, shit.
Oh, shit. Bucks -2.5. We're riding the shit out of it.
Yeah, because listen, shout out to Geno Smith. If you've been listening to this program, I called it way early on.
Yes, you did.
You remember that?
Yes.
I called it. I was like, dude, this guy's.
You did. It was like week 2 or 3. You
Yeah.
said this guy might be able to, and he has been. He's been
He's
performing well. Good
fire.
for him.
Yeah, good.
Been a long journey.
Hell yeah.
It's a long journey for anybody who gets drafted by the Jets.
But he deserves it, man. Like, talk about the trials and tribulations.
Trials, tribulations. Okay, the other 1 o'clock game of significance here, we have Minnesota Vikings +3 playing in Buffalo. Josh Allen is questionable. We do not know. He's going to be a game time decision, which kills
their
me
backup?
with fantasy. I couldn't even tell you. Couldn't even tell you who it is. So I don't know. We're going to keep our eye on that one. As far as other 1 o'clock games, nothing really of significance. 4 o'clock games. We have here the Dallas Cowboys -4 playing in Green Bay.
Yeah.
I am all over the Cowboys.
Listen, I was seeing on ESPN yesterday, Rodgers has not lost 6 in a row his whole career.
Don't care.
It's happening tomorrow.
They are abysmal.
Dude, they're bad. And guess what? Dallas's defense is pretty freaking good. Rodgers is getting smoked tomorrow. And that's what's going down.
And, you know, I mean, there's a very big Green Bay fan. He's actually in management at the office. His name's Bryant. Shout out to Bryant. Happy Veterans Day. He's a veteran. And I asked him yesterday, I said, dude, like, how big of a mistake was it re-signing A-Rod? He goes, worst decision the franchise has ever made. When they traded Devontae Adams, get rid of Aaron Rodgers. You would have got value for him and rebuild. Yeah. You don't get rid of the weapons and keep the same old guy. He said, we had a hell of a run with him.
Yeah.
You have to move on.
Yep.
It's gotta go.
For sure.
All right, so we're all on the Cowboys there.
Facts.
Sunday Night Football. We have the Los Angeles Chargers playing at my San Francisco 49ers. Niners are -7. I'm all over the Niners here.
For sure.
We got it figured out, baby.
Not only that, the Chargers defense allows, I think 5 yards per carry. So, you're out.
And you're playing Debo's back.
That's what I'm saying.
Christian McCaffrey.
Smash.
And guess what?
-7.
We're fresh off a bye week.
Yeah. Smash it.
Everyone's feeling good.
Smash it.
Smash it. 9-7. Play of the week, I think, right? Play of the week. You have to. Off a bye week, at home, Sunday Night Football.
It's over,
Let's go, dude. And then Monday Night Football, big NFC East matchup. We have the Washington Commanders +11 playing at Philly. Undefeated Philadelphia Eagles are soaring.
Shout out to Downtown Dan for continuously saying they're going undefeated. They will remain undefeated this week.
They absolutely will remain undefeated. Good teams win, great teams cover. I think they're a great team. Although, if it was Carson Wentz, I would just be murdering -11.
Yeah.
If Carson Wentz is starting, murder -11. If it's Taylor Heineke.
Yeah, I don't know about the -11 part because Heineke, he's got heart.
If it's Heineke, I love the over 43.5.
Yeah, I like that.
I think that's going to be the pick. Over 43.5.
Take the Eagles and over.
Eagles game.
Eagles over, baby.
Eagles Commanders. Okay. That wraps it up for us. Episode 102 in the books. We have the picks are tweeted. Shout out to my brother Ryan for calling in. That was awesome. Jimmy, good. Sean Hadley, send my my good luck, I guess.
Thank you. We'll do.
Everyone enjoy the weekend. Don't drink and drive. We'll catch you next week.
Peace.
Ooh, 1 hour on the money. What a great